Well, hello everyone, welcome to HujiProductions, and we've got another Morris Minor video today. And today I want to talk to you about this thing. This is the brake master cylinder, and it's usually inside the car. Now, one of the things that really confused me when I got the car, when I first started working on the car, was where was it? So we'll bring you back. Okay, so if you're used to most 1960s and 70s cars, you'd probably expect it to be somewhere like this, around the left hand side or the right hand side of the bulkhead. Normally this side, because normally right hand drive, and on this particular 60s Ford we've got master cylinder here for the brakes and a master cylinder here for the hydraulic clutch. But it's not like that on the Moggy. It's very different, and I'm sure all of you that have worked on Moggies are quite used to its location. But if you're new to them and you're kind of just starting to learn about where the brakes are, well, to me it was a bit of a surprise. So let's take you back over to the Morris Minor and check it out. Okay, so back at the Morris Minor, and indeed there is no brake master cylinder in a kind of what we'd now call a conventional place, certainly where most modern cars are, or any car after the 60s I'd have thought. So let's go and have a look inside. So looking inside, we see that the brake and clutch lever all come up from the floor rather than dropping down from a pedal box at the top. So that kind of points us to where it is, and it is underneath the driver's feet in here, which is not what I was used to. So let's go and delve underneath the carpet and show you the actual location. Let me just set this up, bring you back. Why do we always say that? Okay, so you're on a different tripod now. Now, let's see if I can get anywhere with this. So we need to take this bit of carpet up. Which I put onto poppers and Velcro. 3 poppers and some Velcro holding that together, and some more Velcro. Pop that off. Also, if you're new to Morris Minors, this is the high beam switch for the lights. Right, let's extract this and all of the grits on it. Oh, it'd be good to clean all that up. Right. Oh, okay. That's that out of the way. Okay. And then we've got soundproofing, which is a little damp. Oh dear, that's a little bit damp. Well, that's good, we can dry that up, can't we? It's not bad, just a little bit damp. Right, now I'm going to bring you in, because I don't think you can see that from there, can you? It's here. Alright, so let's pop this off here. Go in at a different angle. Right, so this is the top of the brake master cylinder, which is directly underneath the brake pedal. So that lever comes down and actuates the rod at the end of this. So Probably ought to pop these off and show you. Yeah. Right, let's get a bit more sorted and then let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to pop the cover off and I will obviously speed this up for you guys. Right, the last bolt coming out. I'm only doing this to show you, I don't need to undo it all. So obviously, if you're just checking the level of the brake master fluid, you can just undo this cap here, and you don't need to take the plate off. So this is just for additional access. So let's take that out of the way. And then I'm going to bring in the old master cylinder. Hang on. Ow. Oh. I'm constantly falling over things, tripping over things, banging my head. This will give you a better idea of what's going on in there. Right. So this is a pattern part, this is a Lockheed part. This is the cap that's there, this is the blanking nut that's there. And then we put that on the side. We can see some of the key features. Let's just bring you in closer for this bit. Right, so we have the two bolts that hold it in go across. They go through these holes, and then you've got a feed coming out there for the front brakes, rear brakes. Right, so, and in the end there you've got the plunger that goes up and down the side, and that goes down to there. So you've got, and it probably won't focus, but you've got down here the rod that goes in. You've got an adjustment nut there as well. I'll try and put up a picture up here somewhere or here, showing you what those parts look like. And then you've got a spring at the back. Just being slightly grotted by the steering wheel at this point. There's a spring down there at the back, which is really difficult to put on. It's probably one of the worst jobs on the car, to be honest. You just need a lot of patience and some very long nose pliers. So you can see that. Let's see if we can see that brake action. So you can see right at the top there, you've got the plunger going in at the master cylinder. You've got the pivot point here, and you've got the foot pedal here. So that's how it all works. There's a rod that goes across here, and hidden under the transmission cover is the clutch, and it all works off the same rod. So one of the common problems is for this rod to all seize up, and then your brakes that won't move freely, your clutch won't move freely. When you move one, it can move the other. And we replaced all of the phosphor bronze bearings on this, put a new clutch pedal assembly in, because the clutch pedal is a bit of metal that goes down, and then the rod is across is all built into it. It's all one of the same parts. And one of the mods you can do is put a grease nipple in here, and then you can pump grease into the inside here and help prevent that seizing on the clutch bearing rod that goes in there. So let's show you, what else can we show you? We'll show you the checking of the brake fluid level. Let's pop you back there, and I'm going to go and find a suitable size spanner, and I'll bring you back. Undo this, and then we're going to check the brake level fluid. So inside here, probably do it a bit more light. Let's pop you off, go down here. So inside there is your brake fluid, and what I've got here is a piece of steel all marked up the correct level, and it's got to be a certain distance below the threads, and it is pretty much perfect. That's good. Yeah, I just marked it up to the right depth. I will put that depth here, somewhere here, and I keep that in the car so I can check it whenever I want. Okay, so pop that lid back on, and what else can I mention about the brake master cylinder? Well, you can fit an extension so that the filler goes up inside the engine bay. I think you have to do that for fitting disc brakes. I'm not sure. I think you do. If anyone's done that and they know better, please add it to the comments. Be appreciated. And if you're doing disc brake conversion, I think you have to remove one of the rubbers at the front of the brake master cylinder to allow, I think it's to allow it to come back. Again, if you've done that, it'd be really good to add a comment about that and say what it should be done. I don't know, because I haven't done a disc brake conversion. So the only other thing I was going to mention, and I think it's quite important, is the bolts holding the master cylinder on. So we're going to see if we can delve underneath the car. So I'm going to set that up and bring you back. So we're going to have a quick look underneath the car. Right, where are we? Okay, so this is the torsion bar. This is the spring for the front suspension. Can you see the two bolt heads? These are half height bolt heads, and they are done so that you can fit the master cylinder without it hitting the torsion bar and causing damage. So always use the correct bolts, and always have the bolt heads this side, so that if the nuts come off, the bolts won't fall out. Okay, so the issue is, how do you remove, I can't get my arm underneath this very easily, how do you remove those bolts when this is in the way? Well, what you do, or what you can do, is you get a bit of metal like this and put it up against the car, and then you can get a G-clamp, if I can hold the camera, you get a G-clamp between the torsion bar and this bar that you'd have here. I can't hold it all at once. And then you can, let's see if I can get this. And then what you want to do is you tighten the G-clamp, and it's the metal bar's not moving, and the torsion bar can move down from here a little way down towards the metal bar that you've got. And it doesn't have to move a lot to be able to get these bolts out. It's only a small distance. You're not doing any damage by doing that. It's just flexing it slightly. And that's what you can do. It's quite simple. Just got to have a bit of metal and a G-clamp. There's probably a few other techniques as well. If you've got a better one, feel free to comment. I'm always open to new ideas. And I am going to show you something else. Hang on. Right, so what I found in the garage when I was looking for the metal bar was the clutch pedal and rod assembly that we removed from the car. So the rod assembly here is what the brake pedal actuates on. And you can see the condition of this and how much it's worn where the brake pedal pivots on it. So this shows you why it was removed, and it shows you why it's really important to make sure you've got plenty of grease in there, otherwise it ends up like this. And there you have it. So that's the end of my little video about the Morris Minor 1000 Brakemaster cylinder. Hope it's been useful, and as usual, if you like it, please give us a tick, give us a thumbs up, and if you like this kind of thing, consider subscribing. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure to produce another video for you, and wish you all the best. Ta-ra. Bye. See ya. If you don't, then it's okay. I don't mind. You don't have to watch the whole track. It's fine. You've probably seen it before. Okay, so that's the floor, rust treated, and some fresh paint on it. Didn't want to leave it all rusty.